Hi, I'm Ashton, and it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah. More on that later. I'm gonna do a kind of updatey bath time video like I've done before, to kind of catch you guys up on some things that have been going on and why I kind of disappeared for a month. And I didn't want to bother anybody with that at first. So today I'm going to do a testosterone update because I am 20 months on testosterone today, as of filming this, which is November 2nd. First, of course, the disclaimer that testosterone affects everybody differently, and this is only my experience with it so far. Things could change in the future, and if you go on testosterone, your experience will most likely definitely not be exactly like mine is, so keep that in mind, but this is what's happened to me so far. 20 months, a year and 8 months, I could have had 2 children with testosterone by now, but I don't know why I measure time by the gestational period of a human, but whatever. Let's get on with it. I promise I'll update you on why I was gone for so long in a bit, but currently I'm just gonna kind of hop back into this whole YouTube thing and, I don't know, just pretend nothing's changed, okay? It's fine. So, since I've been on testosterone for a year and over a half now, approaching 2 years, more things have changed, but I think that is more due to my change in my testosterone dose. So my current dose is 0.25 milliliters every week. I do it subcutaneously, and the concentration of the depot testosterone I use is 200 milligrams per milliliter. I do have a video on subcutaneous injections versus intramuscular injections because I know intramuscular is mostly more popular and generally what somebody will prescribe. And I've been doing it subcutaneously for about 8 months now. So I did, I think, just under a year intramuscularly, and then I switched to subcutaneous. My dose has changed quite a bit over the past, 2 years, from nothing to where I am now, and it went up for a while, steadied off, and then I recently went up again, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. So when we checked my testosterone levels a few months back, it came back that my levels were on the low side, still within the typical male range, but on the low side, and I was still bleeding. I need to do like a whole video updating you on my uterus situation. I'll add that to my list. All you need to know for this context is I was still bleeding heavily, very often, so I was like, there might be something wrong with my hormones. So we did a check and we were like, okay, my T levels are in the normal range, but still on the low side. I haven't had my hormone levels checked since we upped the dose because it wasn't terribly long ago, but assuming my levels have gone up, which I'm sure they have considering the changes that I'm about to describe, and my period stopped. I have not had a period since June 20th. Fucking finally, if you've been watching me for a while, then you know that, like, my period is something that I'm extremely dysphoric about, and I'm so glad it is finally, knock on wood, done with. I'll talk about my hormone issues and my uterus issues in a different video, but for now I'm just going to focus on the effects of testosterone that I've noticed over the past 2 years, and over specifically the past few months, as I haven't done a testosterone update. I haven't done a testosterone update since a year and 3 months, I think. So it's been like almost 6 months. Yeah, anyways, a lot has changed since then. So I'm going to pull up the list that I normally pull up about things that testosterone can change and kind of go through and talk about what has all changed. So the first thing on the list is increased sex drive, which has changed in the past few months since I upped my dose. As always, sex drive isn't something that I talk about, publicly on the internet a lot. But it has increased, I'll let you know that. I've kind of been playing with the idea of doing more sex ed related videos in the future. I did one on like the problems with sex ed, and that went over pretty well. Sex ed for trans people is pretty hard to come across, and it's something that is interesting to me because I'm trans. Anyways, I'm already off topic. My point is, my sex drive has increased a bit. It's not something I'm going to talk about a lot, but that has changed with my increased levels of T. The next thing is bottom growth, which again isn't something I talk a lot about, although I do have a whole video on that now about like the kind of basics of bottom growth and everything I know about why it happens and how it happens. I don't think I've experienced any more bottom growth. I think I kind of stopped that around a year and 3 months, but then again, I don't like measure. I don't think I would know if it did grow unless it was like significant, but I'm fine with how my bottom growth is. My bottom dysphoria does exist, but it's not nearly as bad as some of my other dysphoric areas of my body. If I have had increased bottom growth, I wouldn't like be surprised, but again, because I don't like keep track, I'm not really sure. Next, body hair. This has changed since my last video. I have more body hair now, and I definitely did notice that after my dose increased. So I have a decent camera on my phone now because I got a new phone. So I'm gonna put in pictures of my arms and my legs. So before upping my dose to where it is now, I had leg hair, but it was still relatively light. You can see what my leg hair looked like before in the 1 year 3 month update, but currently it is definitely a lot darker. It's all over my legs. Before it wasn't on my thighs, it was just on my shins, which was kind of odd, but I didn't mind it. And now it's like on the outside of my thighs. I still don't really grow hair on the inside of my thighs, but like that's fine, I don't care. But it is definitely darker and there's more of it than there was before I upped my dose, so I can appreciate that. I don't mind a little bit of extra leg hair. I still think I'm probably like slightly less hairy than your average cis guy, but again, that's not really something that bothers me. As for tummy hair, I love tummy hair. I think it's so freaking cute, and that might be an unpopular opinion, but it's always something that I've thought is just adorable. And when I first noticed it as a change, I was like, oh heck yeah, this is great. I love testosterone. But again, since I actually have a decent camera on my phone, I can show you what that looks like now. So here's my tummy with my tummy hair. Isn't it cute? I love it. I actually hate my stomach, but I like my tummy hair. As for muscle mass and upper body strength, Jesus. As for muscle mass and body strength, since I've been marching the past few months, I have probably gotten stronger, but it's not something, again, that I keep track of. I don't weigh myself because that would just lead me down a bad path, and I don't keep track of how strong I feel, but I do think my shoulders are broader and or stronger, maybe both. I'm a flute player, so my arms are like constantly at work. That sounds dramatic, but again, I'm a flute player, hi, I'm dramatic. But my shoulders are for sure broader, and I can definitely tell. I tried to put on a leather pleather jacket that I have from a couple years back, not even a couple years back, like 1 year ago. And my shoulders just don't fit in it. And, you know, some of my coats from last year, I can feel getting tighter around my shoulders. So that's really affirming in a way, like I like knowing that, oh, hey, nice, my shoulders are broader, I am a triangle. As for fat redistribution, unfortunately, I don't think that's something that has happened, and maybe it won't ever for me. Of course, as always, testosterone affects everybody differently. In theory, testosterone is supposed to take the fat away from your hips and kind of redistribute it to the waist. I can't really tell if it's done that for me. A little bit, maybe. But I still have a defined waist and very large hips. That's just the way I'm built. And it is something that I'm really, really dysphoric about, and I'm considering like ways of changing that in the future. It sucks, it does suck, and I wish testosterone would change that, but it just hasn't so far, and that's alright. It's still worth it. Like, I knew going into T that everything I see of guys going on T isn't going to be what I experience, so that's fine. The next thing on the list is menstrual periods stop. I already touched on that. I haven't had a period since June 20th, but right now all you need to know, my period's over. I really hope it is. If it's not, I'm gonna stab a bitch, and that bitch is gonna be me. The next thing on the list is your voice. Hell yeah. I don't know if my voice sounds any different now than it did when I made my last video, but I'm gonna play a clip from one of my very old videos and my last testosterone update so you can kind of tell for yourself if you think it's changed. A good story about my voice though, in Wind Ensemble right now we're playing O Magnum Mysterium, and it's originally a choral piece, so he gave us the choral score and he was dividing us into parts, and I realized I'm a tenor. Like, I don't think I'm a bass, I don't think I'm quite there, but I'm not a soprano anymore, and I'm not even an alto anymore. Like, I'm a tenor. I'm a tenor. If you don't know what that means, it's like the second lowest kind of vocal range type thing. So yeah, I don't know, that's exciting. It might not be exciting for anybody else, but it made me very like gender euphoric today when that happened, so. Alright, I'm gonna play a very old video first so you can get a taste for my baby voice, my fetus voice, if you will. Oh, I got an ad on my own video, is that allowed? So this is one of the first videos I published, and this is what my voice sounded like.
Hi, it's Ashton. This is going to be a bit of a long one, so strap in. I'm going to talk about some words that you should avoid when you're talking to and about trans people.
Fascinating, my voice was very high. Even I can tell the difference between that and my voice now. Even with the way that it feels talking, like I can feel it in my chest now, which I never could before starting testosterone. And I think my voice has maybe gotten a bit deeper since I upped my dose. But it's something that is harder to tell when it's you. Like, you know how you can't tickle yourself? It's harder to tell when your own voice drops. So that's my voice when I first started this channel, about a month into T when it hadn't started affecting me. And then this is my most recent testosterone update at 1 year and 3 months.
Hi, I'm Ashton, and today I wanted to update you guys a little bit on both top surgery and...
So yeah, that's how my voice has changed. I think my voice might have changed from then until now. Again, it's harder for me to tell. You guys can probably tell better than I can, but I think it might have changed. I'm really happy with where my voice is now, and there is actually an app that used to be just on Android, but it's now also on like Apple devices, that measures your vocal range when you read a short passage. So I'm gonna put my vocal range right about here. I hope I edited that in, otherwise this is another extremely awkward shot. That's happened before, I've done that before. But yeah, I love where my voice is now. I feel like it suits me, and I'm pretty comfy with it. I don't mind being a tenor, it's all good. Next is growth of facial hair. This is another pretty cool one. It is November. Some people are doing like a no shave November. I guess I could try, but I feel like I'd just end up looking like a peach. I will take a picture. I shaved 3 days ago at this point, and you can already like tell that I am growing facial hair back. So with my decent camera, I'll take a flash picture and flag it up here. So this is what my peach fuzz stuff looks like 3 days after shaving, and this is what my upper lip looks like 3 days after shaving. I hope that was entertaining. That's my facial hair. I shave about once a week now, just because I'm too lazy to do it any more often than that, and my facial hair doesn't grow that fast, but it is definitely something that I have now. I wouldn't mind having stubble. I think that would be cute. But currently, with the way that my facial hair grows and the color it is, that would just be awkward, and I would look like a prepubescent boy, whereas I am actually a mid-pubescent boy. So the change in your hairline, male pattern baldness, the one that a lot of people worry about. Again, I don't think I've experienced this at all. My hair is still really, really thick. I haven't noticed a change in my hairline. It's possible that my hairline's changed, but like I don't think it has. I do have like a relatively square hairline to begin with, like without, I don't know, shaving it that way or anything, and I don't know if that is the fault of testosterone. Never really noticed my hairline before going on T, so, you know, I don't have much to compare it to, but I don't think that's changed much at all. My family has relatively good balding genes, so I think I'm safe. Also, acne. I definitely have some hormonal acne. I have some on my chest now, which I never had before T, so that's interesting. And of course, I have some on my face. You can tell that much. Well, acne is annoying, and I don't like having it, and especially with me having dermatillomania, it's something that is more difficult for me than it is for the average person. But it's something that I've dealt with. Like, I wash my face, it's fine. I actually do have a skincare routine video for people that are on testosterone. Or at least my skincare routine. I can't believe I did a fucking skincare routine. Who am I? But yeah, testosterone has given me acne, like, since 3 months in. It was one of the first changes I noticed, and something that's still prevailing, so that's lovely, great, thank you, hormones. But it's not something that is painful right now. Like, I get outbreaks pretty easily. Outbreaks? Is that what they're called? Breakouts. I had it backwards. Yep, I'm very good at English. This is why I make videos. But in general, I do get acne and I do get oily skin. My skin has definitely been a lot oilier since going on testosterone. Is oilier more oily? My skin has had more oil on it since starting testosterone, but I don't think that's something that increased with my dosage increase. At least not that I noticed. So yeah, that is the completion of the list, and that is everything that I've noticed in the past few months, since I haven't updated you on testosterone in like 4 or 5 months. Oops. Sorry about that. I do want to do an update once I hit 2 years, which will be in 4 months-ish, so I guess you're gonna have to wait another 4 months. But we'll see where that goes. I don't know that much more will change. My facial hair might get a bit thicker. I might grow hair in other places in my body. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, I look forward to, you know, whatever else comes my way. And going on testosterone has generally been one of the best decisions I've ever made. You know, so there's that. I forget how I used to end videos, so I got it. Goodbye. I hope that you are happy with your hormones right now, and if your hormones are giving you shit, I'll punch them for you. I'm a man. And I will talk to you later, maybe.